What's up, guys? Welcome back to the riff. I guess today would be a day to talk about wah into fuzz, fuzz into wah, which way or how do you get it to work. I currently myself use some old pedals, and I've really been liking the fuzz face coming out of the guitar, plug right into the fuzz face, and out of the fuzz face go into the wah. I really like to do that because an old fuzz face circuit is super sensitive to seeing your pickups and your guitar's volume knob. So I make sure to hit the fuzz face first. And then also using a treble bleed like we talked about in last week's video really helps with that clean tone when you slightly roll off, and you actually get a purer wah tone, and I'll give you a demonstration of that. Alright, so for the setup, we're going from the 61 Strat, follow this cable into a 66 fuzz face, out of that into an old Vox Clyde picture wah that needs to be cleaned up, but I just took it out and it sounds great. And we're going straight into a super reverb. So I'll give you a sound clip of the fuzz first, the wah after that. So guitar, fuzz, wah. I'll give you a sound clip of that now so you can check it out. Wah on its own. You got the fuzz on its own. When you put both of them together, if you don't bring the volume up all the way, you kind of get a super clean. Go a little more. Now, if you were to run the wah into the fuzz, you would kind of get, if you were to go guitar into the wah into the fuzz, you would kind of get this weird oscillation at full volume, even at any volume, because this, like I said, the circuit is not, it's compatible, but it's not, it can't push that wah signal through what that fuzz face is trying to do. And I'll give you a demonstration of that right now. The fuzz on, trying to push the wah through it. So you really get no wah sweep, and it just sounds like a bunch of bright hiss. But there is a little trick you can do. A Boss Chromatic tuner. It has a input buffer in it, and I'll put that in between the wah and the fuzz, and it'll clean the fuzz tone up going into the wah. It also boosts the fuzz signal a little bit, so you will get a little bit of a brighter, a little bit of a boomier fuzz, but I'll show you what that sounds like, and we can go from there. So you can already hear the fuzz is brighter, but you get your wah to work with it. because the input buffer on the tuner is trying to enhance that signal, it doesn't necessarily let the treble bleed in the guitar work for you in its best capabilities. So I really just am using the fuzz into the wah, into whatever else I'm playing. And I feel like if I just use the volume knob, I can kind of get the tone that I'm after. You can put the fuzz into the tuner buffer into the wah, and it kind of will boost the wah signal, but it still works just as well. So there's a tip if you guys feel as though you hear a better sound with the wah before, but the wah, from my experience, it's tough to get a wah sound into a fuzz unless you have an input buffer or something like that. I just never really liked what the buffers did, so I kind of just go fuzz first, and a lot of guys do that. You can use the argument that Jimi Hendrix didn't. Jimi Hendrix's pedals were also worked on by Roger Mayer for this reason, and many times there was separate wahs and fuzz faces that would work together really well, and those would usually be paired up. Got to talk to Eric Johnson over last month, and we discussed that. It was pretty wild to hear all that. A little kind of tone trick you can use. I like using the Boss one because it has a bypass mode where if you step on the tuner, you can still get your signal through. So if I'm kind of a little out of tune, I can use the tuner at the same time while I'm playing music. And I'll just give you a sound clip now of the fuzz into the tuner, into the wah. Maybe if you picked up a Boss tuner for cheap, or you have one and you never really knew a little hidden secret or a trick that it can help you out, you can try that in between your wah-wah and your fuzz, and you'll get usable wah sweep with the fuzz. But like I said, I just like to go into the old germanium stuff, and even the silicon, I go into that first and I put the wah after it because I feel like I get a better wah tone because I'm using a treble bleed, and it helps cut down that clean frequency. So thanks, guys. Everybody, if you want to leave a comment or a like or a dislike, whatever you want to do, either way, it's all here to help. It's all for good fun. Leave a suggestion down below, and I appreciate. Share if you want, and subscribe if you haven't yet. Peace, guys. Have a good night.